review. So this is careers in film and TV production, and we have a really interesting panel. So once they, give their presentation, talk about themselves, their careers, kinds of things they've done, we're hoping that you will have questions. So I'd like to have them all, have a few minutes to just speak, and then we can take some questions and hope everybody has a lot of them and we'll ask them, because that's really what the point of these presentations are. So I'm sure they all have fascinating backgrounds, and I think you'll get an idea that, there are a lot of different ways to get to any place that you're interested in, to any career that you're interested in. Okay. And I should say I'm Kate Fumulari from Career Services, and we're glad to see you here. And now I'm going to totally bungle all of the introductions, but don't make fun of me, Jeff. It's actually down that end. We're going to start at that end with Jeff Briggs, who's a 1982 NU alum. He has a degree in communications. He's president and senior producer of Productive Media, Inc., a company that he founded in 1996 with a longtime friend. Sounds like there's a story behind that from your email. He has a 30-year history in almost every facet of electronic media: radio, television, video, and audio production, as well as live event support, concerts, and theatrical presentations. He also performs as a singer, guitarist, and acts both on camera and in theatrical productions on stage. Some of his specialties are location and studio video production, HD video editing, large and small run DVD duplication, and live event audio and video recording, delivery, and production. Actually does a lot more stuff, but I had to kind of keep it.
That sounds like too much right there.
Well, they're kind of uneven. I'm not sure I got, a lot of stuff for everybody. But our next panelist is Bessie King, and Bessie is also an NU alum from 2008. She has a BA in journalism and communications, and a master's degree in journalism from Columbia. She's a multimedia journalist and has worked for print, broadcast, and online news organizations in Spanish and English. While she was here at NU, she was a staff reporter for Northeastern News, and as well as a freelance reporter for Spanish weeklies like La Semana and El Fanata. Is that close? Okay, good. During co-op, she has worked as a production assistant for MTV and a digital assistant at Polydor Records. She's currently freelancing in English and Spanish while finding a full-time position in multimedia production. Okay, Brad. Now, Brad's not an NU alum, but he does have a connection to NU. He teaches songwriting and music supervision in music industry classes here at NU, and is also an associate professor in the songwriting department at Berklee College of Music. He's a keyboardist, pianist, arranger, and Emmy Award-winning composer. I'm sure he'll tell you about some of the films and TV shows that he has worked on. He is an accomplished keyboard and piano player, and has added his unique sound to a wide variety of genres, and has performed with some diverse artists as Aretha Franklin, Yo-Yo Ma, Katie Lang, Bono, Gary Burton, and James Taylor. And I recognize almost all of those folks, except for maybe Gary Burton. And he's a regular performer with the Boston Pops Orchestra, George Russell Living Time Orchestra, and Rebecca Paris. He's a composer and producer, and his musical versatility is evident in his numerous films and TV scores. Okay, now, last but not least.
I guess somebody asked.
Right. And I will probably totally bungle your name because it's Italian, and even though I'm Italian, I have the hardest times with the Italian names. But this is Ben Giraldi.
No, Giraldi.
Giraldi, yes, it happens to me all the time. And since 2005, he's been the Director of Outreach for the 48-Hour Film Project, which sounds incredibly interesting, an international filmmaking competition and festival. For the project, teams of filmmakers from 100 cities and 6 continents make movies in 48 hours. The movies are then shown in a cinema in their own city. As Chief Technology Officer, he envisions, creates, and manages a technological infrastructure that supports the filmmakers and staff of the projects. He also hires new city producers each year to manage the festival and manages programs for the projects for the staff to assist in the day-to-day operations of the festival. He's a former software developer and systems administrator and received a BA with a major in film from Dartmouth College. It makes films in his spare time, which I can't imagine when that is, and often as a part of timed filmmaking festivals, which makes sense.
And I actually started studying graduate math here at Northeastern. I didn't include that in the bio because it's totally irrelevant to everything I do, but 2003.
Okay.
That was fun.
Thought math was the way to go.
For a minute.
Okay, so thank you guys. I don't know who wants to start. You don't have to actually go in order, but...
Bessie wants to go first.
I was actually going to have to start with what?
I guess we could, so I guess I'll go first. So it seems to me like, I remember a little bit being where you are. And the thing I wanted to know the most is, how did you get that job? So I guess I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Not that the way I got this job is remotely duplicatable. So there's this festival called Burning Man. Who's heard of it? Show of hands. Okay, cool. So basically what it is 50,000 people go to the Nevada desert for a week and have a party. They wander around naked, they, hang out with each other, they listen to really loud disco music. And in my youth and in my adulthood, I've gone to this several times. The second time I went, I camped with a theme camp of complete strangers. So it was just random people camping together. And I got to be close friends with one of them, whose name was Liz Langston. And we didn't really know anything about what we did in the real world. At that time, I was sort of doing freelance software developing. And people said that she ran some sort of film festival or something. And it just, in one ear, out the other. I was living in Boston at the time. She came to Boston to do the inaugural Boston 48-hour film project. And so I went to the screenings. And it was kind of fun. It was a little bit of a mess. It was in this theater that no longer exists in Allston that shows Bollywood films that they actually knocked down the day after we did the screening.
Sorry to interrupt. What year was this?
This was 2003. So the person who ran it didn't want to stay on for another year. And so even though I had no relevant experience or it was not reasonable to hire me in any way, now I hire people and I think about these things and I'm like, wow, that was a crazy hire. She did. She asked me to run the Boston 48-hour film project, and I just kind of ran with it. And so I started running that in 2004, and then I came on sort of to the executive staff in 2005. So, I mean, in terms of getting my foot in the door, I went to this crazy festival, in Nevada. In terms of actually doing well once I got there, I mean, I blew the doors off of all of our performance metrics. Our first year in Boston, we had 16 teams. The year that I first ran it, we had 48 teams with another 25 on the waiting list. And just to clarify, each team makes a movie as part of the 48-hour film project. They've got a weekend, 48 hours to do it. So we give them elements on Friday night, and then we collect the film on Sunday night. Each team is about 15 people. So 48 teams represents, anybody good at math want to do that in their head?
You were the math person.
Yeah, not anymore. So let me see, that's about 700 filmmakers, I think. So we went from about 200 filmmakers the first year to 700 filmmakers the second year. So I think that's what sort of caught their eye. And then also, I was relatively free. I was doing the software development thing. I wasn't that, excited about it, and this was sort of an interesting opportunity to kind of ramp up the project and sort of create more metrics and things like that. So that's how I got my job. So I recommend Burning Man. It's a good place to go.
Good place to meet people.
I guess.
Shall we move down the road?
Sure.
Shall I go for it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, same deal, but what Vince said.